Let's talk about gym badges. Every Pokemon fan knows them. Collect 8 by fighting the region's leaders and you'll be eligible to take on the Pokemon League, and ultimately earn the chance to become a champion. However, not all fans know about the immense power and secrets these small trinkets hold, because I assure you, they're way more than a simple collector's item, especially in the manga, where they boost power, allow control of Pokemon, and even more. So when I said we're going to be talking about gym badges, I mean gym badges in the Pokemon Adventures manga, because these things are seriously crazy. But before we get into gym badges, I gotta ask you something. Have you ever had a company that you've trusted or used announce that they've had a data breach, and within that data was your personal info? Whether or not this has or hasn't happened to you isn't the main point. Instead, what I really want to know is, what was your next move? Because for me, I know it would be panic. But thankfully, that's where this video's sponsor, Aura, comes in. Aura is an all-in-one online privacy protector that safeguards your digital life. From its data broker opt-out functions that remove your personal data from data brokers and identity thieves who love to buy and sell your information, to its trusted and secure antivirus, keeping you safe from any malware, spyware, and more. And of course, these guys have your back with their VPN that not only encrypts your connection at a military-grade level, but also blocks scam and lets you access global content from wherever you are. And the best part about what I just said is that's not even everything. Aura is available from a price that's really affordable, especially considering how many features it offers. As someone whose entire life is online, it's an essential that I have some protection when I do anything, and I want the same for all of you guys too. So I highly recommend heading down to aura.com/VeeVolt to get 2 weeks free, which will be more than enough time for it to prove its helpfulness. Massive thanks again to Aura for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the gym badges. The first time we ever see or even hear of gyms and their badges is in chapter 4, where Blue teaches Red about them. He explains that Pure City's gym leader is a man by the name of Brock, and he's looking for a worthy challenger, and if you beat him, you get a Boulder badge, which is news to Red. And that's one of the funny things about Pokemon, gyms aren't even widely known about, even for trainers who want to be the best like Red, or have a bunch of knowledge like Platinum. Lacks the exception as he outright studied the gyms when he was super young in preparation of challenging them. Heading back to the main topic, the Boulder badge grants the owner's Pokemon an attack increase. And you may be thinking this is some random manga original thing, but nah. In the first 3 generations, some gym badges granted trainers certain stat boosts. In Generation 1, the Boulder badge increased attack, the Thunder badge increased defense, the Volcano badge increased special attack and defense, and the Soul badge increased speed. These boosts would only work in internal battles, so not PvP, and each stat would have a 12.5 increase. Thank you Bulbapedia for this information. This feature is now long gone, but it's cool that it existed, even for a short while. Since this is in the early days of Pokemon, it's important to remember that established lore isn't really a thing yet. So instead of fighting against gym trainers, you have Red fighting in an underground cage fight in order to earn the right to face Brock. And eventually, Red earns that right, fighting Brock and defeating his ground type with an electric typed Pikachu, in a situation even worse than the anime, since there wasn't any sprinklers involved. Although technically, he did win fair and square. After this higher victory, Red continues his journey through Kanto, facing against all of its gym leaders in one way or another. What I mean by this is that the gym leaders don't really behave like gym leaders. For Misty, he earns the badge by training with her at her gym. For Erica, he earns the badge after completing her Catch and Eevee test. And for Blaine, he gets the badge after helping him escape Team Rocket. And you can't really count these as gym battles as such, especially when only one of them really took place in the gym. On the other side of the argument though, the gym leaders did give him the badge because he proved himself, which is what's important. But then you have the remaining badges, namely Surge's, Koga's, Sabrina's, and of course Giovanni's. Well, for these guys, the case of earning the badge was quite different. Since all of these guys are members of Team Rocket in the manga, defeating them in battle doesn't mean they're gonna hand over their badge. I mean, why would they? They're evil. But not only evil, they're smart, as they've also realized how busted gym badges are. During his fight with Red and Blue, Koga explains that gym badges contain a form of energy that heightens a Pokemon's power and empowers the badge holder to control any Pokemon. And in the evil leader's case, they use this to command the 3 legendary birds and boost their powers. This may sound kind of familiar, and that's because this is the manga's way of including the obedience feature in the games. You know, the annoying thing where you have a high level Pokemon that doesn't want to listen to you. Yeah, it's the same here. Team Rocket successfully captured the legendary birds, but that's not enough to make the powerful Pokemon listen to him. But with a gym badge, the Pokemon have no choice but to obey, despite their own wills. And because there's 4 evil leaders, they have the power of 4 badges to control and boost their Pokemon with. In fact, this broken hack is the main reason Surge even became a villain. He realized if he exploited this life hack, no one would be able to stop him. But of course, the heroes aren't dumb either. They have their own 4 gym badges that empower their Pokemon too, so they can manage to defeat them. And even if they don't get the gym badges after victory, who's to say they can't just steal them? Which is exactly what red, blue, and even green do. Okay, so now you understand that these badges increase a Pokemon's power. But let's get into the real meat and bones of what makes these badges so broken. And that's when their power is combined with this little machine here, known as the Badge Energy Amplifier. Up till now, everything I listed was game mechanics adapted, but this thing is a whole new can of worms. By placing in the first 7 gym badges, massive energy is created to amplify a Pokemon's power. And with Red placing all 7 gym badges in, nothing happens. Yeah, I forgot to mention that trainers don't only steal gym badges from gym leaders, but also from other trainers, as Green actually stole Red's badges and replaced them with fake ones, so that whole energy amplifier thing was a lie created by her to trick Red. What actually happens when you put the real badges in is an orb of light comes flying out, fusing the 3 legendary birds into this monstrosity. Sabrina explains that the machine was created by Team Rocket in order to create a Pokemon with the power of all 3 at once, and they did this by experimenting on Eevee. And since defeating gym leaders wasn't an easy feat, they instead waited for Red and Blue to collect all the badges, which they did. So with the ultimate life form being complete, you're probably wondering what it can do. Well, it can attack, that's a pretty good thing. And it can get really badly injured by Clefable's metronome. And the best thing it can do is lose, to the power of 3 fully evolved starters. Yeah, the ultimate life form isn't all that impressive. But if you're a sharp person, you'll remember that they only use 7 badges, so what would happen if they used 8? Well, this is what happened in the next arc of the story, where the Elite Four made their names known, stealing the 7 gym badges of Kanto and bringing the energy amplifier to an island, known as Cerise Island, which they turn into an island-sized energy amplifier. And on the topic of 8 badges, here's a fun fact for you. Red never actually collected all 8 Kanto badges, as Giovanni never hinted that he even had a badge. But when the evil man returns, his badge is forcefully ripped away from him, creating a gigantic Spirit Lugia. With the power of this legendary beast, Lance wanted to use it to fly over Kanto and kill everyone, but Yellow and the others put a quick stop to that. Once Lance was defeated, Lugia helped out the heroes by releasing the energy from the badges, revitalizing the land in Kanto. And after this, as far as I'm aware, the badges were permanently nerfed back into being souvenirs. But that's not exactly where the badges stories end, as later on in the Gold and Silver arc, the Pokemon Association realized it's probably not a good idea to give these badges created out of who knows what to trainers, since it's low-key kinda dangerous, especially when these badges can and have been stolen multiple times, as well as being used for evil multiple times. So now trainers receive regular gym badges, whilst the gym leaders keep a special one for themselves, once again made out of an unknown material. These gym leader specific badges are never shown to have any form of power, but it's known by Professor Elm that they're slightly different to the regular ones. And although that's all I have to say about the badges, there is another thing related to them I want to talk about, and that's entering the Pokemon League. As you know about in the games, you need 8 badges to take on the Pokemon League, but I neglected to mention how the manga treats this. Back in the Kanto era, trainers actually didn't need to collect badges at all to enter the league. Instead, they would take part in a group preliminary round, just like in the anime, which would then turn into a bracket, where the winner would be crowned the champion. Realistically though, this does make the idea of gyms kind of pointless, outside of protecting the city and providing a challenge. But after what happened with the Elite Four, the Pokemon Association decided to make a new rule. If you can gather all 8 badges, you can skip the preliminaries altogether and head straight for the finals. This gives the gym leaders a new purpose, whilst also bringing back honor to the evil-stained gym badges of the past. Gathering all 8 badges isn't an easy thing, so you probably won't see anyone do it apart from main characters. As interesting as this idea was, it doesn't really get talked about much. Sapphire and Platinum both gather 8 gym badges, but neither of them compete in the leagues. Henry and Casey don't even get all 8, and Scarlet only does it because Nimona begs her to. Admittedly, it was shortly lived and barely explained, but these overpowered badges were surely a sight to behold, especially with the wacky things they did. I wish we got some more explanation on why these badges are like this and what material they're made out of, considering they do increase Pokemon's power and increase obedience. Who knows, maybe they're made out of grounded rare candies or something. So let me know in the comment section down below your opinion on these badges, and whether you like how broken they were, or if you prefer them to be just like the games. With all that said and done, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care!